While pursuing his MBA, Hank Ingram had an idea that combined his love of bourbon and his family's ties to river-based business. The Ingram family started its river barge transportation company in 1946. Today, it is the leading carrier on America's inland waterways. Hank developed the idea of a floating rickhouse for aging bourbon in a totally unique way.
There's already a blueprint for how you age in a rickhouse in Kentucky or anywhere for that matter. There's not one for aging spirits on a barge on the Mississippi River. We pursued an experimental permit because we didn't know if anybody would grant us this license to operate. We received the experimental and we ran the process. After about 6 months, we noticed a difference with the barge bourbon versus that on land and decided to go kind of double down.
Because of his vast Nashville network, it didn't take Hank long to connect with Jeff Hopmayer, CEO and chairman of the Brindiamo Group, one of the largest bulk bourbon and whiskey suppliers in the world.
I said, okay, well, sounds cool. What do you need to do? And he said, well, I need to put a plan together, raise some money. He showed me the plan, and I said, Hank, I go, your valuation's way too cheap. I go, you need to increase that by about 5-fold. He said, you're kidding. I said, no, 5-fold, it'll work, trust me. And he did it and he got it.
I value the relationship with Brindiamo because starting up in the early days, I had absolutely no idea where to go, and I'm sure if I had called up half the distilleries that I knew of, they would have laughed me out of if the call had gone anywhere, they probably wouldn't have even told me anything beyond that. I called Jason and Jeff, and they said, well, how many barrels do you need, and what mash bill do you want, and here's all the distilleries we can connect you with. To me, distillation is very much a science. To make actual bourbon distillate, it takes 5 days. To make bourbon that people drink takes 4 to 20 years. And in my opinion, that's where I can have the most impact.
Some of the things we've learned over the process in putting this on the barge. So while the barrel is losing liquid inside it, sitting in a rickhouse, it doesn't move. On the barge, it rolls, so you get more coverage from the wood, and generally his product tastes like older product because he's getting more interaction with the wood on the barge, and it's been fun to watch. It's been fun.
The reason that people go to Jeff is because it's a word of mouth game, and if you have a need for bulk whiskey, there's only a handful of people you can call, so eventually you have to run into the Brindiamo guys.